Starting a food business from home might sound overwhelming, but sometimes it only takes one good machine to get the ball rolling. Across kitchens and small workshops, people are using compact food making devices to turn simple ingredients into products customers can't resist. In this video, we'll explore some of the most interesting machines that can help you create treats that sell right from your own space. Coffee roaster. Few things draw people in like the deep, rich smell of freshly roasted coffee beans. With a coffee roaster, you can take raw green beans and transform them into your own unique blends that stand out in a crowded coffee market. These machines work by heating beans evenly in a rotating drum until they reach that perfect balance of aroma and flavor. For a small business, a mid-level roaster that handles a few kilos per batch is the sweet spot. It's big enough to supply local customers, cafes, or farmers markets, but still compact enough to fit into a home workspace. The upside is clear. Coffee drinkers are loyal, and once someone finds a roast they love, they often come back for more. The main challenge is learning to manage consistency. Beans from different regions roast differently, and keeping each batch uniform takes practice. Still, with the right machine, you can turn something as simple as a morning ritual into a profitable business. And after roasting beans to perfection, let's switch gears to another machine that takes customization to a whole new level. Edible ink printer. Imagine offering a birthday cake with a child's photo printed right on the frosting, or cookies decorated with a company's logo for a special event. That's exactly what an edible ink printer makes possible. It works like a normal inkjet printer, but instead of regular cartridges, you load it with food-safe edible ink and sheets of frosting paper. The result is vibrant, edible images that instantly add a wow factor to cakes, cupcakes, and cookies. For someone starting a small food business, this machine opens up opportunities for personalization that customers are willing to pay extra for. There are a couple of downsides to keep in mind. The edible ink cartridges and frosting sheets need regular restocking, and they can add to your costs over time. Also, the printer works best for flat surfaces, so while it's fantastic for cookies and sheet cakes, it's less useful for sculpted or textured desserts. And after creating eye-catching desserts, let's move on to a machine that creates irresistible snacks people can't help but grab.
Mini donut maker. Few foods grab attention at an event or cafe quite like hot mini donuts rolling off a machine. Unlike simple countertop gadgets, an automatic mini donut maker is designed to handle steady batches, pouring batter, cooking, and even flipping the donuts with minimal effort. These machines typically produce dozens of donuts every few minutes, giving you consistent quality and a continuous flow that's perfect for serving at local markets, school fundraisers, or small catering gigs. The appeal is not just the taste, but also the show. Watching golden donuts drop right into the tray keeps people lined up, smiling, and talking about your stand. For a home-based business owner, it's a compact way to create a product that feels festive, smells irresistible, and sells incredibly fast. You can even experiment with different flavors, toppings, or fillings to keep your menu exciting and customers coming back for more. And while donuts are all about indulgence and sweetness, our next machine takes us into the savory world of dumplings, where efficiency matters just as much as flavor. Dumpling maker. Folding dumplings by hand is an art, and a slow one. That's why many small food entrepreneurs use a dumpling maker. These machines fold, seal, and shape dumplings, empanadas, or pierogies in seconds. Simple manual presses cost under $50, perfect for beginners. But semi-automatic machines, which can churn out hundreds per hour, typically cost $200 to $700. Fully automatic ones climb over $1,000, but they're still small enough to fit in a home kitchen. Imagine offering fresh dumplings in your neighborhood. They freeze well, they're easy to package, and they appeal to almost every culture. With one machine, you can turn hours of folding into a steady, profitable workflow. Now, dumplings are savory, but our next machine is all about silky sweetness. Chocolate tempering machine. Ever heard of tempering chocolate? It's the process of heating and cooling chocolate to stabilize it for making candies and confections. Doing it by hand is tricky. That's where a chocolate tempering machine comes in. This countertop gadget precisely melts and cools chocolate to the right temperature so it sets shiny and snappy. Small tempering machines, tabletop models, often have a tank of a few kilos capacity. Prices vary. An entry-level tabletop temperer, around 3 to 4 kilogram capacity, can run about $1,000. For example, one popular 3.6-liter digital model is about $1,026. On the higher end, large professional tempering machines can cost several thousand dollars, up to $8,000 or $10,000 for big 5 to 11 kilogram units. Those are the machines you see at high-volume chocolate shops. But for a home startup, the approximately $1,000 range is enough to make quality truffles, bars, or molded chocolates. You pour chocolate in, let the machine do its automated heat-cool cycle, and out comes tempered chocolate ready to mold or dip treats. It takes the guesswork out of tempering. Now, from smooth chocolate, we move on to smooth spreads. Peanut butter maker. Love peanut butter? You can make and sell it fresh with a peanut butter grinder. These machines grind roasted peanuts, or other nuts, into smooth or chunky spreads. For small businesses, an electric nut grinder is ideal. There are consumer models and commercial models. On the budget side, you can find household-style peanut butter makers or grinders for around $160 to $200. I saw one electric nut grinder on eBay listed at about $169 for 15 kilograms per hour capacity. On the higher end, commercial-grade colloid mills and grinders, which can process 50 to 100 kilograms of nuts per hour, are priced around $450 to $1,200. For instance, a Chinese-made small commercial grinder has an MOQ price of $1,200. In practice, if you want to start by making small batches of gourmet peanut or almond butter, the sub-200 units work fine. If you want to sell dozens of jars daily, a sturdier 500-plus machine makes sense. Freshly made nut butter is a big draw because it has no additives and a great rich flavor. With one of these machines, you just pour in roasted peanuts and out comes creamy butter. From nut spreads, let's spice things up. Spice grinder machine. Grinding your own spices is a fast way to level up a small food business. A commercial spice grinder is basically a heavy-duty blender with sharp blades and a powerful motor, often sold as herb, grain, or spice grinder. You can use it to powder peppercorns, cinnamon sticks, cumin seeds, etc. on the spot for recipes or retail. Prices are surprisingly reasonable. For example, Waring's 1.5-cup commercial spice grinder lists for about $290. It's a stainless steel heavy-duty unit. Simpler electric spice grinders, 500 to 700 watts, can be found for $50 to $100, but those are often smaller cups. I'd recommend budgeting a couple hundred for a reliable tabletop grinder if you plan to use it constantly. Why do this? Because freshly ground spices have a stronger aroma and flavor. Imagine offering spice blends or rubs ground in front of customers. It adds a fresh, homegrown feel. Plus, you can grind more than spices. Many machines double as coffee bean or grain grinders too. From spices to shelf life, next up is a machine that preserves food. Food Dehydrator. A food dehydrator removes moisture from foods, preserving them as snacks. Think dried fruits, veggies, jerky, herbs, all homemade. A dehydrator is basically a box with heating elements and trays that circulate warm air around your food pieces. It's simple but magic for creating high-profit snacks, dried mango, apple chips, beef jerky, etc. Entry-level home dehydrators, 4 to 6 tray models, cost surprisingly little. Some popular ones can be found in the $60 to $150 range. For example, a simple stackable tray model was around $60, and others like the Nesco Garden Master at about $90. On the more professional side, full digital stainless steel models, with timers and more trays, run from $300 to $550. For instance, a brand called TriBest sells a high-end unit for about $550. Even at $500, that's nothing compared to commercial jerky dryers, so it's doable in a home kitchen. With trays full of sliced foods and herbs, these machines gently dry them over hours. The result is delicious snacks that stay good for months. And from drying food to grating eggs, the next machine on our list might surprise you. Egg grating machine. This one isn't as well known for home kitchens, but it's gold for small poultry farms. An egg grating machine automatically sorts eggs by weight or size. You pour eggs in one end, and the machine rolls them across scales or slots, sending eggs of different weights into separate bins, for sale as large, extra large, etc. The catch is, these are specialty devices. Basic tabletop graters, sort only by simple weight divisions, can start in the low thousands of dollars. I found that a small egg processing grater that handles around 5,000 eggs per hour was listed at around $2,600 to $3,100. Wash, weigh, and pack tens of thousands of eggs runs sky high, over $100,000. For a tiny home farm business, you could get by with a manual sorter, but a simple machine can save loads of time if you're selling dozens of eggs. Even a $2,000 to $3,000 machine pays off by speeding up work and ensuring consistent sizing, which customers pay for. With eggs sorted, let's cool down with something icy. Slushie machine. On a hot day, nothing sells like a slushie. A slushie or granita machine makes slushies, margaritas, frozen lemonades, or iced cocktails. Basically, it chills and churns flavored liquid in a bowl so that you get a consistent icy drink. Commercial slushie machines often have 1, 2, or 3 bowls, each bowl approximately 2 to 3 gallons capacity, and keep the drink semi-frozen for hours. These are usually more expensive than your other machines here. A single bowl slushie machine, about 1.6 to 3.2 gallons, typically costs around $900 to $1,500. For example, I saw single bowl granita units listed at about $1,149 to $1,399. Double bowl or triple machines can cost even more, often $2,000 to $5,000. For context, a high-end double machine with autofill and large bowls can go above $4,000. However, smaller home use units do exist for under $100. Think Party Slushie Maker at Walmart for approximately $55. But those make very little at a time. For a proper home business setup, budget at least around $1,000 for a decent single-bowl slushie maker. The good news, slushies have high profit margins, so that machine can pay itself off quickly in hot seasons. And finally, cooling down slushies, let's warm up with bean milk machine. Plant-based milk is booming, and a bean, soy, almond milk machine can let you make fresh nut or bean milks at home. These are countertop devices that grind soaked nuts or beans, heat the mixture, and filter it into milk and pulp, okara. Typical soy milk maker appliances for home use, like models sold as soy or nut milk machines, range widely. Some consumer models are around $100 to $300. For example, I found an automatic bean soy milk maker priced around $275 at a big retailer with features like delay start and self-cleaning. There are even budget listings on places like Alibaba from about $80 to $130 for simple small machines. Industrial-sized units, handling hundreds of liters, of course cost thousands, but for a home operator making specialty milks to sell, spending a few hundred is common. The machine does it all. Add beans or nuts and water, and out comes fresh almond or soy milk in minutes. This is perfect for making plant-based beverages or yogurts with your own twist. If you're thinking about starting a home food business, the machine itself is only half the story. What really drives success is how you present what comes out of it. Package your products in clean, attractive boxes or jars, give them names people remember, and don't be shy about using social media to show the process. Customers love seeing food being made fresh. Selling at local markets or partnering with small cafes can help you get early traction. And remember, people often buy with their eyes first, so make your food look as good as it tastes.